Radio Rothingham is becoming more and more professional.
Don't be ridiculous.
Eventually, I will have to get a proper microphone.
Also, I guess the boss's best assignment yet today.
Okay,
I have to build him his new computer.
Oh, that is a pretty nice assignment.
Yes.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of Radio Rothingham. We're a bit earlier this week because Xaverius
you know you can upload it anytime, right?
That's right. So yeah, I guess I'll post this on Friday. So it's been sitting for a whole 2 days.
Festering and rotting, growing its own culture.
It's like a fine wine of awfulness.
Made in England.
It's a fine
Made in
blend
England
of British and Irish and Czech and Dutch and German.
Made in England and also Europe.
It's obviously made on the internet.
Well, that's in Europe, right?
Yes. The entire internet, all of it. It's all in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Americans are actually pirates, just stealing internet.
They're like Somalian.
First they pirated India, and now they're pirating going.
It's true.
The Americans. So yeah, if you don't mind, what will you be doing, Xaverius? What's the reason why you can't be here on Friday?
I'm going to be doing a thing that is very dear to me, much dearest than any of you.
Okay.
Listening to metal music on a festival full of metal music.
Cool.
But what does it taste like?
Like metal.
Oh.
Well, you do need some iron in your diet, so I guess.
Exactly.
Wah, wah.
Apparently Astra found that funny.
Apparently there's gonna be like 30,000 people this year.
Oh.
Only 13 or 30?
30.
Nice.
It was 25. It was 25 the year before.
You can't hit that many people with a stick at once.
You're not hitting them with a stick, but with sound waves.
But you said it was metal. The most metal thing I can think of is a mace. It's like a big metal stick with pointy bits on it. Perfect for hitting people.
That's a good idea. I should consider that. But
Pretty hardcore too.
There's going to be 30,000 people. There's probably not going to be space to actually reach anywhere.
Yeah.
Is this the kind of metal festival where everyone hangs out in a field for 2 weeks, getting smelly, living in tents?
Well, some of them. Those people from Sweden and Poland and America probably yes. Those people from closer probably not. Like me. I'm going home every day. I'm in mourning.
That's not how you celebrate metal. You celebrate metal by taking a tent and a sleeping bag and then not using it except for storing beer, which then gets stolen by a big fat man who you then have to wrestle to the ground to get it back. Then you come to an agreement and you end up drinking with him all night.
Panboy, I will have to explain you one thing. This festival is in a place that's called Wallachia, which is known for making plum vodka, which is basically a glorified moonshine. It is also in the townlet that's very famous for making this plum vodka, and it's actually in the complex of the place of the distillery that makes the plum vodka.
So what you're saying is you won't be wrestling the fat man for beer, you'll be wrestling for your vodka stash that you stole straight out of the still.
Yes. Now you get it.
Good God, you're going to be so shit-faced. You won't even remember what day it is.
Actually, that happened to my friend. The last day she was barely in a vegetative state.
Yeah, because doesn't Xaverius not drink at all?
I don't drink at all.
Exactly.
What? Then how can you go to a festival?
I don't go. I ride a bus. I mean, it's only 25 kilometers. I could probably go. I do not wish to.
But then how can you get the full experience of wrestling with juggalos in the mud pit?
I don't think we have juggalos, but there's mud. Yes. Also, if you're not careful, you can get stuck on a railroad and killed by a train. Because there's a
Speaking of trains, there was a horrible head-on collision in Italy.
Oh yes.
There sure was. They collisioned so hard, they did a boom. They were like,
Yeah, I saw a thread about it on 4chan, but it was derailed.
It sure was. I suppose they couldn't keep the thread on track.
Yeah.
How does that even happen in the modern age of computerized trains, though? How do two
Good
trains
question.
go on the same track and don't know each other or dare? Whatever happened to GPS and signaling?
You know, some places didn't upgrade. Like they didn't bother because
like
we have to
Italy.
spend money. Yeah, exactly, like Italy and Belgium.
It is Italy after all, and it's not just Italy, but it's like the southern part of Italy where they have like mud houses and shit, which are also made of shit probably. So, yeah, part of me is not surprised that this happened.
I imagine it was probably driver error and one of the drivers ignored signaling, but
that's most likely what happened. And some trains have like security systems that will override the human input, but yeah. This particular train probably didn't have that.
This is a train that runs every day. There probably should have been, one of the drivers must have been driving way off schedule for them to be on a one lane track, going in the wrong direction.
Here's probably what happened. So this particular train driver was like on his normie book machine, and then he read an article about how Japanese trains are so punctual, and he was like, I must defend the honor of Italy. I can do this too. I can make my train be on time all the time. And he's like, yeah, I can totally do this. If I just ignore the signal, I can go so fast that I can go to this bump over here and I can just jump straight over the oncoming train. I can do this. I believe in myself. And then they died.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure neither of those drivers went home. Nor did most of the people in the two front carriages.
Nonsense. They all lived and they went and had prosperous lives. And they are very happy. Except really. But yeah, what is the last time you read or see about something like this?
In the 90s and the early 2000s, there was plenty of train crashes in London, but they weren't like fatal ones. They were like, oh, we had to derail the train and nobody died, but it was very dangerous.
I think there were some pretty high tier crashes in the 2000s with the German or French high-speed trains. I think it happened to one of those ICs that go like.
I think the most famous crash wasn't actually two ECAs, two trains crashing. It was actually like the wheels had actually the metal wheels of the train.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had the idea to have put some very hard rubber around it to dampen the train, and yeah, exactly. And those hard rubber actually malfunctioned because it's rubber after all. And
would you guess that hot rubber melt?
Yeah, exactly. No, it actually did melt because it was hard. It's kind of only broke, and then kind of pierced. It kind of up, and then it pierced into the cabins, and many people got impaled by it.
Wow, so the train tires, which is something I never thought I'd say, launched itself off the wheels of the train into the cabin. That sounds horrific.
That's
not the tires, actually, like this layer of rubber or something, or like rubber metal mixture. Actually, it just broke, and that actually launched off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they put this around the wheel like a tire as well.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what I meant by it. Fire.
Well, it's a very new way to kill people.
I'm pretty sure I have not seen a train with anything like that on it, and that's probably why.
Exactly.
And now you know.
Now you know
Knowing
why.
is half the battle.
GI
Yes.
trains.
And knowing is half the bottle.
Yeah, but speaking of German things, there's actually something also involving another public transportation. It's the airport of Frankfurt-Hahn.
Oh no.
Which is not Frankfurt, it's actually another airport in too close where I live.
Wasn't that like an old US military base that they then just sold to Germany?
Yeah, it might have been, yeah. But the thing is, it's like very, it is kind of like a negative. They don't make any wins with it, so they wanted to sell it to the highest bidder, and the highest bidder was some Chinese corporation. So they wanted to sell it like they sold it for 10 million, and then 70 million. They would get 70 millions in total in subsidiaries from the state. So basically, they still would win. But the thing is, actually, someone actually did some journalistic work and actually checked out what is
Oh my god.
where's this company and how do their offices look. And it turned out it was just some small office of some Chinese car repair shop. So then suddenly the car was blown or something, and then suddenly it turned out something fishy was going on, and like the people that bought the airport were supposed to pay like the first down payment, but they still didn't. And now, from what I can get, it actually got cancelled, the selling, so they are gonna go to the next highest bidder. But yeah, now like the governor of our how it's called, Bundesland, is actually getting into some trouble, at least from the media.
Isn't it just German state?
So
I think that's how they call them in English.
it sounds like they some shell company approached and made a bid, and the people in power who were actually selling didn't do any proper research into who they were selling to, and it went ahead into the planning stage, and then they realized, oh wait, this company that's buying it from us doesn't actually exist. Oh
Happens
well.
all the time.
Exactly, except they claimed, well, we did our research and they are a trusted company, and then someone journalistic actually questioned it, and after this journalist actually went, then suddenly the media was like, yeah, this is shady, something shady going on, and after this actually...
Well, they did a check for
it
if it's a
backfired.
trusted company or not for if it exists.
There-
True.
It's a common mistake.
There was probably a little brown enveloping going on there.
Yeah, sure. That's pretty obvious. That's everyone. That's even the media was kind of like. Of course, they can't like say it loudly, but they kind of were like, saying indirectly.
Our media likes to say it loudly. It was like, oh, that T-Shock you had? Oh yeah, brown envelopes everywhere. Good God, yo. In fact, we have realized now that the entire 80s of our country was governed purely by brown envelope.
To get a clear understanding, brown envelopes means bribes, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Bribes make the world go round.
Exactly the same way as going to the video store means purchasing things legitimately.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm.
That's a perfectly valid thing, valid way of getting things.
Yeah, and obviously brown envelopes only have political documents inside, and trade agreement, and are not in fact stuffed with untraceable cash, because that would be terrible.
About trade agreements. Have you heard about China?
Oh no! What did China do?
Well, apparently there's this country place called Philippines.
Right.
And it's sort of south of China. And there's a sea.
I've heard of it.
There's a sea between them.
Oh yeah.
And now China decided that the sea belongs to them. except a few years ago they actually signed that the sea belongs to Philippines. But now they decided that nothing like that happened, even though the contract exists or whatever contract agreement. And now China is building artificial islands and loading them with guns.
Sounds like a thing China would do.
Sounds like a perfectly ordinary thing for a country not at war to do.
Yes.
We are always at war.
In China?
Yes. No, with East Asia.
Oh. Isn't that Eurasia?
I don't know.
I mean, we're
Well, in this case, it's East Asia.
Comrade, we're always at war with Eurasia. What was it again? Landing strip 1 double plus good.
Yes, seriously, that sounds very much like military preparation for something.
You mean for a lot of volunteers making a visit, like in Ukraine?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, no, we didn't sanction an army to march over there and plant a flag. They did that by themselves.
Obviously, in this case, the islands are volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
No, they just chipped off the mainland and decided to live in the sea.
And the Philippine Islands are just going to volunteer to rejoin China.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
And
so, that's what you do when very nice people come a knocking.
Then Philippines went to Hague, and Hague was like, "Well, China, that's not very nice." And China was like, "Come at me, bro."
And then we just use our cheese.
And then Hague did not come at China for some reason.
Some bizarre reason. No one seems to want to upset the China.
I wonder why.
I think it's because they got the slanty eyes. It creeps people out. They don't want to look at them.
Yes,
exactly. And there's absolutely no other reasoning at all.
Yeah, it's obviously just mild racism.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't be anything else.
Nope.
Maybe it's not a racism.
Maybe
it's an actual phobia. Like you look at a Chinese person and you got struck by fear and can't do anything.
Actually, I think the real reason is everyone just wants to keep buying cheap clothes from the Gap. That's obviously it. Not that they're a substantial military power. No, that's nothing to do with anything.
Well, China's military is big, but it's not really that well.
China big
or well funded or technologically
advanced. Artrix, it doesn't matter. If you send 2 billion people marching across the planet with bayonets and sticks, they'll probably win.
Yeah, that's how Russia won all the wars.
Well, except that so China has all the people, right? So there's like you have like the scene from 300. So you got like just all these Chinese marching towards you, and then you're like in the Americas, and you see them come from large distance because you're on this semi-island surrounded by oceans.
I mean,
so there they come in their boats, and you're like, no,
what do you mean by semi-island?
Because they're not really an island, but they kind of are, because they have oceans on both sides of their everything.
So what you're saying is the Chinese should obviously invade from the North Arctic.
Yes.
Just like an army of tanks coming across the North Pole.
Nobody would expect that, not even the Russians.
Well, actually, yes, they should do that, because if they come from the south and their timing is off, then they'll just come across this huge wall.
That's true.
Yeah.
With the global warming, the path should be pretty easy to cross.
Also, they would have to go through Mexico.
Yeah, which means they'll probably just let them. No. As a matter of fact, they'll probably join them, because they're like, we're the Chinese and we're invading the United States through Mexico. Then the Mexicans are like, oh wait, Is this a gig? Are you offering a job? And then the Chinese are like, yes, we are offering jobs. You can join
but there's
us.
one big plot hole. Trump gets his way, they have to go through another wall.
Yeah, but the Chinese are very good at navigating walls.
Yeah, but the Mexicans are very adept at dismantling tanks while they are going. Like, you are a Chinese tank, you're going, and suddenly you have no threads.
Are you implying that the Mexicans would LoJack a bunch of tanks?
Not at all.
Because that would be hilarious.
But I would even say that they kind of need the Mexicans because, you know, walls are communists' biggest enemy, as evident from you know, East Germany.
Yes,
so,
definitely.
So yeah, they probably even get like flash. They probably get triggered because, you know, all communists hate walls. Unless you're, of course, Communist Party leader, then they're fucking great. That's how they thought that they were thinking in East Germany, right?
Yes.
The thing about walls is this like something that even Trump didn't think through, and also like back in the days of the Soviet Union when he had the inner German wall, is that walls only keep Mongolians away.
Oh.
Well, Buck, have you seen any Mongolians here? I did not.
Exactly, because we had a wall.
Yeah.
You just need a bigger wall, obviously. What about when the Mongolians start flying German Zeppelins?
We need to keep the Mongolians out of glorious East Germany, obviously.
Yes, you do.
I mean, we don't want them Mongols tainting the glorious workers' paradise of East Germany.
Yeah. Speaking of countries that are trying to build a wall around themselves, have you? All of the UK ministers that were apparently pushing for the Brexit have basically quit.
Yes.
It's like we have achieved our goal. We can now go and take our place amongst the legends of the past.
We pushed the country into a state of turmoil that we thought would benefit it, and it probably maybe still will, but we're not taking responsibility for it. Someone else could do that.
You know what you need, Panboy? You need a Dragonborn.
To be fair, by quitting, they basically disproven everyone who was saying that they are only doing it to get into political power.
That's also true.
You're already in political power.
Into more political power.
Everyone was saying that they lead it only to become the prime minister, and now they quit, thus proving everyone wrong.
Yeah, also you need to know about Boris was quit because he was essentially backstabbed. The backstabber also quit because he was a dirty backstabber. And Farage left because, well, he's still basically involved with the whole Brexit thing. He's just not the party leader of the UKIP anymore.
Because he doesn't need to.
Got his way.
I guess he doesn't need to, yes. He's just being a Farage.
Well, he did a thing he needed to do as a UKIP leader. That's it.
Also, to keep in mind that he spent 17 years of his life essentially achieving what he did with the Brexit.
Yes. That's true.
He has been pushing for it for some time. Kind of odd, though, that, you know, he'd step back once it actually succeeded.
Well, I would say that there's probably good reason for it.
Well, if there was his main goal and he completed the goal, now what goal would he have left? So
doesn't have any dragons left to slay.
Yeah,
but
he is the Dragonborn.
But yeah,
if there are no dragons, you can go after the griffins.
And the elves.
But yeah, this isn't the last we've seen of Farage. It's just that he's no longer the front runner of UKIP, which might actually be a good thing for UKIP, because He's been their front runner for a long time. I mean, as long as I know about UKIP, he's been their front runner. I mean, UKIP is almost synonymous with Farage. So
What's
yeah,
going
maybe.
to happen now? Will he join another party? Will he work his way back up into power? Will he be all like, now that we're out of the EU, I need to spend the next 17 years of my life getting back in? He just
So-
needs to keep setting up dragons to slay. Like, he
he's
breaks
almost,
things just so he can build them again.
He's also almost
But
turning into.
better.
He's almost turning into a third wave feminist, which is like, yeah, real feminism doesn't have any goals anymore, so we're just gonna manspreading.
They do have goals. However,
Except in this case, it wasn't man spreading; it was EU spreading.
Yep.
Mhm.
The
He's
EU was
gonna want-
spreading its power too much, and the UK was like, "Do you mind? I'm. It's a space issue." Then the EU was like, "No, I'm just gonna keep EU spreading."
Okay, we're like, no. And then put their bags all over the EU.
Mm.
I'm gonna woman spread all over your man spreading.
Well, apparently the new prime minister that the UK has just UK'd is a woman. I'm very confused. I've
A
never
woman?
seen these creatures in politics before. I'm like,
Is,
they have like these bumps on their chests and their
Is that-
voices are higher pitched.
is
It's
it some
scary.
kind of Pokemon?
Well, obviously,
you'd
they
almost
just
think that, but I'm scared. There's never been.
Artrix, they're just a bodybuilder. They just work their pectorals out a lot until they become mounds, and the high-pitched voice is from the really tight jock straps they wear.
Oh,
I don't know, Panboy. I'm confused. I'm so
No,
scared of this new world.
Oh, the world's not new. It was born 3 billion years ago. That's
What? But
isn't it?
but
Isn't it
Panboy,
4.6?
I thought the world was 6,000 years old. That's what my pastor told me. Oh no.
I hate to tell you, Artrix, but the job of priests, imams, and preachers of all kinds is actually just to lie to you,
What?
so that you give them money to save your soul from eternal damnation.
You're saying that someone would go to the real life and tell lies? Can they do that?
Yes, and they've been doing it for millions of years.
Hmm.
Since before voice was even invented.
So what's
People have
better?
been lying to each other.
Eternal damnation or internal damnation?
Like cavemen used to draw paintings on their caves that illustrated that if you stole their cow, you would spontaneously go on fire. It's true.
So you're saying that you go into a cave and you see these drawings and a troll face next to it? You're saying that troll face isn't a recent invention, it's just something that...
Yes, man has been trolling other man since we first learned how to communicate in any fashion.
Yeah, that's why we have boats called
First
trollers.
learn to troll, right?
Yeah. You're saying you don't know how to troll?
It's basically the first thing you learn when you come out of the womb. You know,
Yes.
your parent gives you a toy and you drop it on the ground, and then you laugh as they bend down to pick it up and give it to you, and then you just drop it again.
Well,
I
you're
used to do it
not
when I
a
was
part of
young.
their system.
You know how I trolled my parents when I was born?
Did you shit all over the place?
No, come on, that's pretty low tier trolling, come on. No, I was much more
That's low
sophisticated.
balling, that's low
There
balling.
you're throwing your toys
Uh,
into the kennel.
No. It's way more fundamental like that. Here's what happened. So I was born, starting to exist.
I
and
was born at a very early age.
at a very early age of 0 years old, and I purposely made it very easy for my mother. Mother was like, you know what, this giving birth thing is actually pretty easy.
Such
Everyone's-
a troll.
Yeah, everyone was telling the world that giving birth was really hard, but it was so easy. I can easily do this again. So she did it again. She got my brother. But my brother was not in on the joke, so he was just born all regular like. And mother was like, God damn, this is hard. Why was that first fucker so easy to give birth to? And then there was just a huge troll face on my face. And it was like, problem, mother.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stick to the shitting all over the place. It's much more simple.
Yeah.
And you can do that
I
at
figured
any
that
age.
The mum giving birth would do.
Okay, you just...
That's actually.
And Astra is trolling us by cutting off.
Yep.
Perfect microphone.
Mhm.
I'm not even sure it's a microphone or just her internet.
For
trolling her.
goodness sake.
You need more internet.
I think it is.
Buy a bundle.
I think it's your threshold setting that's set incorrectly.
Get better. Get good, Astra. Get good.
Get good, scrub.
Go fuck yourself.
Nah, I'm good.
Well, I like
My
very much.
penis
I
isn't
like.
that long. If it was, I would.
You need to think with portals, Panboy.
Oh, you.
I'll just get my Swedish penis bump. It's not mine, I swear.
No, it's Swedish, obviously.
I have no idea what my internet's crapping about.
I think it's just everything about your computer, Astra, is just bad. Including.
Also,
Yes.
obviously, the whole
Being
story
user.
about trolling my mama being born, it was a joke. Obviously, I have more respect for her than...
You intentionally made birth easy, Artrix. Yes.
Yes.
We all assumed this was true fact.
Hmm?
Yes, you came out of the womb conscious
Yep.
of what you were doing and willfully made everything terrible.
He did it on purpose.
Of course.
Well, not everything, because my birth was pretty easy. It was my brother's birth that was apparently hard.
I think the real trolling you probably did later when you were actually born and you were just a horrible, horrible little shitlord all over the floor. Making everything terrible because that's the job of babies.
Yep.
I saw a baby once.
Exactly.
Babies are dick.
Yeah, exactly. Like my friend's baby, he just got a son, so I went there and he was like super quiet, and he was like, oh, he's only quiet right now, but usually he just screams and cries all the time. But you come to visit and he's quiet.
It's all
And I was like, sweet. I don't have to listen to his screaming. I also gave him a mug that said, "Thank you for not making me a huge disappointment." and I said, "Hang on to this for 18 years and then give it to your son."
And then give it back.
Let's see if he lives up to it. Hopefully for the guy, after 18 years, he can legitimately say, "Yes, I am not a disappointment. Thank you, Dad." But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Anyways, what other topics do we have that we can discuss on the show?
Mac, you wanted to talk about the Go.
Going outside, yeah, that's what many people did recently last week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So did you play it?
Did you ask?
Oh God.
I know that Astra played it. He was like, "Yeah, this Pokemon stop is right here in a child daycare center, and I don't want to be
I
seen
have
as a
seen
pedophile."
people
So
playing
I
it
don't
on the
wanna...
streets here in Bratislava.
I actually haven't seen. I live in a big city and I haven't seen anyone play that weird game. But it's
Is it
probably because
possible that your city has not people that are faggots?
No, yeah, we pride ourselves on being very productive and no nonsense people. So maybe your average role them is like, you show them Pokemon Go and they're like, "How is this going to make me any money?" And you're like, "Oh, it's not."
What is this? How do I generate an income?
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, fuck off." I have shit to do. But yeah, Pokemon Go, 1-3 Go. What about it?
Yeah, go Pokemon. Pack your Pokemon now.
It's just a huge thing, and it's like the most sold app on the App Store and on Play Store.
Pokemon.
Wait, Pokemon Go cost money?
Yes.
Oh, in a way,
it-
yes.
It's got
In a way,
Why
no.
else would Nintendo create it?
it's got in-game microtransactions, right? It's free
Yeah,
to
that's
play,
the part that's
but
pissed me off quite a lot. The case that the dongle that comes with Pokemon Plus, dong.
top
um,
and now you're fired, Astra. This
damn
is
it.
a dongle joke.
Good job. Now get
it
to the point.
And
It costs.
Expand.
God damn it! Costs
Astra.
35. Shut up. £35, more or less,
Wait.
and there's microtransactions. I don't understand how they could charge for the dongle at the same time offer microtransactions.
actually, the model with Nintendo games actually is, at least with the mobile games or the 3DS games that are free and have microtransactions, is like as soon you have reached a certain threshold, your game actually becomes like completely unlocked, so you don't need to do any transactions anymore. So actually, there's like an upper cap that you can spend.
So
Yeah,
just
but
throw a lot of money at it, and you won't have to throw a little money at it. Genius.
So back what you're saying is once you've bought everything, you've bought everything.
Yeah.
Not quite. It's because you could technically buy like, for example, with Pokemon Shuffle and Pokemon Big Cross, it's like if you spend like €35 in total, then you basically have, then
So
you don't need to rebuy any of the currency because you get it's
Yes. So once you paid the value of a new game, you don't have to microtransact.
exactly,
What?
which is actually still better than pay for a game and have 10 microtransactions.
So are you saying they're actually conning people into buying the game?
Yes, they are.
Yes.
But also, what is this Astra's talking about? A dongle? I wasn't aware you needed a peripheral to play this game.
No, you don't need it. It's something optional.
Then,
But Astra
don't
can
have to
explain
have
what
it.
it does.
then why are you complaining about it as if it was a cost?
Oh, it's an
Also,
extra
what
cost
does
on
it
top of the
do?
microtransactions. I mean,
It's an extra
microtransactions isn't necessary either, but it's still there. It's still tempting for stupid children to waste their money on for something that's a digital currency that's not worth anything.
But you don't need to spend money on any of these things to actually play the game. The game is still
No.
free.
It's still free to play, but it's also pay to win.
Right.
Basically, paying makes it easier to win.
Well, yes, that's the free-to-play model. But yes, I was trying to establish if the game actually costs something to play.
Oh no. It's free to download next couple of days.
And you don't need to buy a dongle, which
No.
you're
Talking about free stuff,
Anyway,
Ubisoft has advanced into next month, which is this month, and they are giving another game for free.
oh no.
It's the original Sprinter in the Cell.
I already bought all of those on a humble bundle like
See,
3 months ago.
if you did not spend money 3 months ago, you would have to spend no money right now.
Right, so I could get one of the 20 games I got for €1.
Oh,
Honestly, the first one is the best, probably.
It doesn't actually work very well on the PC at all.
It does not.
No. In Splinter Cell, there's a very important thing you have to do, known as walking slowly. And on the Xbox, where it originally came out, you had a stick with variable levels of sensitivity. This is known as a analog stick. Yeah. On a PC, you do not have this peripheral by default. And even if you do, the control configuration in that game, unless they've patched it, is the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my life, where you have to manually type into a text file for every access you need to use on your joystick, for which you may not even know how your accesses are actually labeled, which is very bizarre because it's an Xbox port.
Which reminds me that there's going to be an analog keyboard now.
Yes, I've heard it is. But to get around this problem, Splinter Cell bound the analog movement speed to scrolling your mouse wheel up and down.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
It's the most bizarre control I've ever tried to work with.
It was great. I got bored in the game though. There was some sort of oil rig, and it wasn't even dark. And how am I supposed to hide in shadows when there are no shadows?
Pretty sure that's the second level.
Yes, exactly.
I'm pretty sure it was pretty dark. You were just okay. Here's the thing with Splinter Cell.
It was not dark. It was very orange.
Yeah. They have a very strange idea of darkness and brightness contrast, where it's either 100% fluorescently bright or it's completely dark. And there's no fade off in between.
And I like the fact that you're a man with night vision goggles that are very green and very bright, and you're hiding in a shadow.
Yep.
Nobody can see you.
Makes you an awesome target.
Well, actually, if you read the developer commentary from when they developed the game, the lights on Sam's body are not be representative of his actual figure, but they are a gameplay representation, so you can see where you are.
Quit lying.
It's all very silly.
It is.
I fully agree.
But that was a great game when it was new.
Mm-hmm. So was Sands of Time. I mean, that was the first game Ubisoft gave out. Sands of Time was awesome.
I think I forgot to claim that. Oh well.
Maybe you
There's
can
always
still do that.
next time.
Just check the page. Maybe they're still offering it. I don't know.
I could just go to the video store anyway.
Or that.
I
You won't have to deal with Uplay.
Exactly. And for that will always be the superior option.
Yes. Unfortunately.
It's the ironic truth of the fact that video pirates treat their customers better than the original retailers.
Hell, they even patch their games so they work.
Mm-hmm. It's like, look at this video you just bought legitimately in the shop. Now sit through 30 seconds of FBI anti-piracy logos. Or download it from a RIP site and have all of that nonsense you don't care about cut out.
Wait, isn't that something that primarily happens in the movie industry? Because
Yes.
I don't really see it happening that much in video.
What's a movie?
Yes, I am referring to videotapes and DVDs right now.
What's a movie?
Fair enough.
And the pirate copies don't have horrible DRM built into them that makes your TV not work.
Also true.
It's like, oh, I bought this new Blu-ray. Now to put it in my Generation 1 Blu-ray player. Oh no, it won't work. Because I don't have DRM in my Blu-ray player. Oh dear.
Now I have to go and update, do a firmware upgrade of my Blu-ray player. That's something that didn't happen with DVDs. DVD was like, it works, period. There's no firmware updates.
That is probably why Blu-rays didn't kick off as well as they expected.
Yep, well, Blu-ray is I like Blu-rays in the sense that it does give you a solid 24 kilobit video stream, and the quality is very good.
I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons the PlayStation 3 was the most popular Blu-ray player. It didn't have any DRM problems.
Yep. And the PlayStation 3 was being marketed as being a Blu-ray player.
Yes.
God damn, I was dodging out there, sorry.
Of course, as long as you don't want to be able to use it if you haven't plugged it in for a month.
Come on.
Wait,
Then
the optical drive would stop working after some time?
Are you insinuating that the machine would work
take
long
2.5
enough
hours
to
to-
actually...
it would take 2.5 hours to fucking update if you weren't updating it constantly.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and it would crash after half an hour, so...
I remember when my friend got his PlayStation 3. We've hardly played it, to be honest. But we plugged it in the first day, and then we sat there for a good hour and a half while it installed system updates before it even let us get to the login screens. or the main interface. I was like,
This didn't die on you.
no, it didn't. It may as well have. The 360 now, that got a lot of play. Got worked within half an hour plugging it in. Stuck games in it. They worked. My 360 worked for 10 years before red ringing.
Well, here's the
yeah.
thing about from what I get. I never.
Red rings are the best. Like, it's estimated that anywhere from 23 to 52% of Xboxes red ringed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Xbox wasn't exactly known for its build quality, but
It's Microsoft.
it is kind of funny because the Xbox dominated the last gen because the Xbox was content on just being a gaming rig. Or
And it has a
console.
box in the name.
Yeah, it's just a box. You put the CDs in and it plays with you. And then the PlayStation was all like, yeah, we're like this awesome multimedia center thingamajig, but you also pay like €1 trillion.
Yes.
Then most people are
Ironically,
like,
in the current generation,
it's
it
the other
was
way around.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It was
This
Xbox would do the multi thing.
That's so
Yeah,
weird.
And
It
the
really-
Xbox failed because of it.
Yeah, and it's really weird because it's like I think even Sony kind of admitted that they didn't really try hard to make the PlayStation 4 an amazing console. Basically, it was because the Xbox One kind of backfired because it was more expensive, had Kinect in it, and had all the DRM stuff going on where you needed to activate it. Yeah, exactly.
Always connected to the internet.
Pretty much, and it was more expensive, so of course, and the Wii U was kind of still a failure because no one really bought it. So, and Sony just went out and said, yeah, we are $100 cheaper than our competitor. You have no DRM on our physical games. Fun.
At least it was an OJA.
Basically, PlayStation or Sony decided to be pro-consumer.
Yeah.
And it works.
To
It's
be fair,
almost as if market-based economy works.
And then, of course, you had the Ouya, where someone had the bright idea of putting an Android phone into a big box and calling it a console.
Oh, you plug it into television. Television is great. I love television.
No, the issue with the Ouya was basically I think it took so long for the development to the release that it wasn't relevant anymore when it released because there were phones with even faster hardware, so they
It was also made out of paper.
The Ouya was never going to be relevant. They went out with the sole purpose of making an Android box for €100.
Yep.
It didn't compete with the things that were sold on the market before it was made.
I think the best game on Ouya was the unboxing, where you had to unbox it right. Otherwise, it fell out of the box.
And broke because,
Yes.
well, actually, probably there was no moving parts in Ouya, so it probably wouldn't break.
It broke anyway.
Yeah, but I mean,
there was only a loosely glued plastic, so it sort of came off.
Go ahead, back.
I mean, we have like this Amazon Fire TV stick, which I think it's not a failure, and it's kind of taking off. And
only known in Germany.
It was a nice idea to have like to plug in an Android device. You buy a movie on a Google Play Store, and you can watch your movie on the TV that you just bought.
Well, actually, their Android devices have.
Different...
Android devices did kind of take off in the TV market, where people are just buying them. They're basically Android boxes made for streaming.
Yeah, but exactly where that was before smart TVs were a huge thing.
Yeah, well, smart TVs are basically...
The Kickstarter happened, and then after the Kickstarter, they took like a few years, and then, yes, of course, smartphones developed the possibility to stream to TVs, and we got smart TVs that run on Android, so basically it was kind of redundant at the point when it released.
The real problem with smart TVs, though, is they all run on proprietary versions of the OS. So, like, my mom has we have a Sony Bravia in the house, and you can only install official branded Sony apps, which means I can't install all the popular streaming apps on it, like like Twitch, and actually no, you can probably do Twitch. Can't do that very popular Showvox one that everyone seems to love. because it's totally legal. It's the video store for your TV, Android device. You go there, you pay all the appropriate amount of monies for streaming videos.
Yes.
The thing about these smart TVs is that the only thing you should expect from them is to be able to play your video files, maybe some YouTubes, and maybe some Netflix, but that's it.
They actually don't make you smarter.
That was actually a problem with a lot of the streaming devices at first, because they wouldn't have video codecs for half of the things people publish on the internet. So they were grand for streaming YouTube because that was a known codec, but you tried to play that anime you bought on a legitimate service, and no, it's like, oh no, you can't play H.264 version 2. This is the MKV. What even is an MKV? What, the most popular format encoded on the internet? We're not going to play that. AVIs, please, or MP4, nothing else.
Well, yeah, that's why if you are really serious about streaming anything to your TV, just get dedicated streaming. Get one of those Raspberry Pis or whatever and put whatever software on it.
You know, set up a PC as a transcoder. The PC can use its entire codec database and then make it into a streamable stream.
Does
Exactly.
the PC self-identify as a coder?
I mean, the smart TV functionality on these TVs are just there as a bit of extra convenience. Like, okay, you got some movies on your hard drive, you hook them up,
Actually,
and it mostly works.
I think you might be wrong there, Artrix. I think what we might see happening in the near future is smart TVs totally take over from set-top boxes, and the notion of having a cable TV subscription starts to die.
Well,
I never heard about anyone having cable TV. Everybody here has a satellite.
Well, I do think that cable TV is going to die. I mean,
It's dying.
more-
It's been dead here for like 10 years.
Yeah, well, that's why
probably
most
done.
cable TV providers also provide internet through cable now.
You know what I'm waiting for? For the moment that all these smart TV services things are going to go the way of iTunes, and we'll decide like, okay, we do not have this movie in the database. Probably doesn't exist. Delete.
What is really annoying right now is that apparently my ISP is providing me television through the same infrastructure as my internet.
Yeah,
basically
that's how
just
they've been doing it for years, Artrix, for decades even.
no, because I'm talking about having a UTP cable going to my TV, going into a switch, which then goes into my TV, opposed to coax cable, which used to be the standard for many years. But these days you see more and more of the services
Yes, like
being delivered.
in the 90s, Artrix. But then the internet decided that they are starting offering a TV, a digital TV, and suddenly it was all over the internet.
Oh,
Well, our
I
cable
still
provider
think we're talking about something different here because, especially in the 90s, you would still get, even if it's digital TV, you would still need to...
I was not talking about 90s right now. I was talking about 2000s. I said that in 90s he was correct.
Oh, 1900s. Okay.
Oh yes, 1900s, of course.
The TV is still provided here by Virgin over a coax cable, but it is a digital signal, and coax cables can carry the signal considerably further than UTP, which is why it's used. It's lower bandwidth.
It's a solid shielded wire.
Yeah, it's lower bandwidth, but it's more stable. But with the modern transmission protocols they use, they can still put a lot of data on those cables.
Oh yeah, my TV can easily put out 720p over Ethernet, and it looks fine. It
My
isn't-
TV.
I'm not even sure if
I
they
don't know.
even transmit 1080p, but
We never bothered to update to digital. We just unsubscribed.
yeah, I know. You're like, no, we don't need to.
I didn't care, but mom was like, I will have to buy this box and then spend hours by setting it up, and then it won't work. I will have to return it. I don't really want to make the journey to return it, so I'm not going to buy.
Yes, digital over-the-air broadcasting. Does anyone even have one of those receivers?
I used to have DVB-T, which is the
A
protocol
lot,
they use
lot
for
of
that.
people had them here.
People and
Because if you wanted to watch TV, you had to buy the box. So
Yes.
most
Or-
of people did that.
Or you get one of those
Yes, or
common
you get
interface things that you can just plug into your TV, and then you can
Wait,
use the
you mean
internal DVB-T tuner to.
You mean
Artrix.
people and
Artrix. Did you just use the word DVB tuner and a TV after digitalization of a signal? There's a small problem. These things do not have these things that these tuners that get digital. I mean, this TV I have right in this room uses card cable.
Yeah, you have an old TV, but newer TVs have built.
Yes, I have a TV from the Artrix. Newer TVs are from the age after the signal was digitized.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the thing. I was talking about a TV in the age when it was digitized. So you had an analog TV, then suddenly digital. So we had to buy the box.
Also, another thing about this whole way broadcast works is, well, we're even sort of stepping away from the DVB standard. It's all going over the internet now. But a lot of ISPs insist that you use their shitty set-top box. Like, they gave me a shitty little set-top box, and every time I want to watch TV, I need to turn on this stupid set-top box and use a separate remote control just to flick through channels. And it's a good thing that I don't watch TV much, but if I did, then I would be fairly pissed off.
Hey,
Oh,
you
this is
turn
a pain.
off your set-top box?
Yes.
You're such a person.
Yes, you're such a person, Artrix.
Yep, that's a very yes.
Yeah, the notion of using set-top boxes seems to be foreign to you, but I've never actually had decent TV coverage without it, unless I'm just talking about getting the shitty TV stations that are broadcast over the air, which are all
I'm using one.
which are just local stations like RTE, which is not even a real station as far as the rest of the world is concerned.
Before I had this setup, I used the built-in DVB-T tuner in my TV, and all I needed was like a CAN module that you put in your common interface port. But once you get that set up, you don't need to fuck around with set-top boxes. It's just all built into the TV. And my brother's that going on with this, except it's on cable, which is pretty neat actually.
See, most TVs over here don't actually have that equipment built into them because there's no service provider that provides signals that would actually be receivable by it.
Yeah, that's probably the case. So yeah, that's kind of shitty. And you'd think with the further digitalization of television, you'd think that we're getting to a point where you just basically have a computer in your TV, and all you need to do is just log in with the credentials that your ISP gives you, and then you have television. But no, they're still working with shitty set-top boxes that you have to install.
Well, the reason's actually pretty simple. The way they encode TV on the cable is different than when it's encoded for internet transmission. And it doesn't take up as much space, and they can fit like 50 channels on a cable, whereas it would saturate your internet bandwidth just to listen to one.
I suppose that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. That is why.
But yeah, then again, I don't watch that much television, so I don't really care all that much. I was actually called today, and the guy was like, "Hey, do you want to have cable internet?" I'm like, "I'm satisfied with my internet." Yeah, but we're cheaper. And then I was like, "No, you're not cheaper. Your offer is only €2 cheaper, but that doesn't include television." And I need to, switch over, the entire hassle of getting a new modem
and then when you actually check the contract, you see they're only cheaper for the first 6 months, and then they will up your contract load.
Actually, they didn't, because it was 37 quid, I think, for that's the regular rate, and I would get the first 6 months for 30 quid, which would save me a bit of money, but it's not worth it.
Not much money. Such great money save. Wow.
I basically already got a pretty good deal for my current ISP. They were like, "Hey, Artrix." I'm like, "What?" And they're like, hey, Artrix, do you want to pay less? And I'm like, well, I suppose you're also gonna toggle down your service then. They're like, no. You'll be paying £3 per month less. I'm like, okay. And we're going to up your internet speed. And like, okay, you have my attention. And you're also getting better TV. You're gonna have HD TV.
Oh my. HD TV?
That's
You
better
lucky
than-
bastard.
That's better than a current standard definition television.
But is it better than my internet access, which gives me all of those things for
But
single
Panboy,
bill?
but Panboy, my internet's going up too. I'm getting better internet where I can find all the stuff and better television with the more D's. It's
But does it get Netflix?
Artrix wants all the D.
I want all the
He wants it.
definitions. Yeah, I want all the D's. Give me all.
So many Ds.
Exactly. You can.
He wants to be.
You
Nothing beats a D.
Exactly. I don't settle with just standard D's. I want the high D's.
Yes.
Especially when they're, when the number of pixels, when you put them next to each other, you get a really long string of D's.
Long D's.
XD dick jokes. So
I think this is expired.
Yep.
Yes. So what's not
topics.
expired?
I was asking
Video
back.
game.
Back wanted to talk about something to do with Go, but then he started talking about Pokemon for some reason.
Yes, that's true.
So what about it? I think
There's just, like in this other Go game, like the predecessor to Pokemon Go, which is called CSGO. You could actually, you had random item drops of when you were playing, and you could get crates. And
True.
to be able to do something.
Sounds great.
Yeah, and to open those crates, you needed a key, and you need to purchase the key.
Right.
Just like $2.50, and you have a chance for a random item drop, and it was usually a weapon reskin, and like if you got a knife, then it's for some reason it's like very, like some people think it's very like it's worth a lot of money, and suddenly they developed an in-game economy because you can trade items and there's a demand for items. It's basically items are worth something.
But are you implying that there's a form of internet media out there where people aspire real world values onto fake digital goods that are merely a graphical representation of nothing?
Assuming like for example the $50 bill.
What?
Which is a
You mean
$50
$20 bill?
Yeah,
No.
or just $1 bill. Yeah, just something with
No,
text
back,
written of
back,
it, and we
back,
say it's
back.
worth some.
Back. You mean the $20 bill, the one that's the one that has the black person on it.
Yeah, for example.
Who's
But
not a
yeah.
president?
Yes. Yeah, but anyways, it's just
Yeah.
that
Wow.
some clever people thought, since we can use our sites and use the Steam API to log in, we'll let people just gamble with items. And because it's not money, then it's not gambling. Because it's only gambling if actual money is involved. Since it's just digital items, it's not gambling. So some of the sites allowed basically people to register even if they were just 13 years of age, and so basically
Not even people yet.
exactly, and those were allowed to gamble with the items that had some real world value attributed to them.
So I'm still not quite comprehending this whole real world value thing attributed to video game items.
Loopholes.
But no one does. Panboy, no one does, because we are not playing this game.
Can I stab people with these Counter-Strike knives?
In the game,
Yes, in the game, yes.
You can Counter-Strike, Counter-Strike people in the Counter-Strike game.
You know, if you have like a Rainbow Fate Karambit blade, then you look classy while doing it, because it's like swag.
But can I stab better than I'd be able to stab with the not rainbow blade?
No, you just look better.
I have no comprehension of the words you're saying. They are not making sense to me.
Panboy. It's kind of like how people go into their cars.
CS:GO.
Yes, if you're like lower class, you get into the subway. You go all the way to the inner city of your local metropolitan area. Okay, you go into that inner city. You go into the store, and you see a pair of trousers that's like 300 euros, and without hesitating, you pick it up. You see if it fits. Well, if you're lucky. I mean, some people don't even bother with that. So you see
some people are blind and they
they just immediately take it out of the store and they assume it fits just fine. So they go to the till, they use their debit or credit card, probably just a credit card. They take the credit card and they unironically pay 300 euros, go out, go home, put it on, and then think that their lives are more awesome now because they're wearing a 300 euro pair of trousers. Instead of spending 15 quid on a pair of trousers that does exactly the same thing.
Which reminds me, I bought shoes today.
$300 trousers actually have more pockets. Better.
No, okay. But I am sure you can get a pair of trousers with more pockets for less than 300 quid.
Well, I bought shoes today that were like 30 euros, which is probably more than I spent on shoes in my entire life.
But anyway, getting back to back, I'm pretty sure there was more to this gambling fiasco than just the fact that they were online gambling, wasn't there?
Yeah, to get people to gamble on your page, you kind of need to advertise it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because to get people to any site, you kind of need advertisement for it.
Nonsense. We don't advertise this podcast.
Some YouTubers randomly stumbled upon. No, they found a site called CS:GO Lotto. You totally should check it out. That's what they said, and they were like, "Yeah, check it out." And then they were like playing on this page, gambling away. Gambling their stuff, and it was like they were of course winning a lot because it's kind of an advertisement videos. So he was like gambling, and he was even streaming it. And of course, because they were popular YouTubers, they also had a lot of underage watchers, which are easily influenceable to like gamble, because get the gambling hype, and you suddenly are like, oh, I must do this too because I can win a lot. But the thing is, as it turned out recently, this person is actually the owner of this website.
Oh.
Yep, that's exactly the way the story goes.
Yeah.
Artrix, you heard it last week. Don't spoil her.
And the same guy who was advertising on this for this website took the claim back, saying on another YouTube video, saying, "Oh, this is a great website. You should go and see it." And he said he apologized. No, did he apologize? No, he said that. Oh bugger! What did he say?
Instead, he doubled down on it.
Yeah, he was more or less doing that.
It was like, no, I'm legit.
Yeah, he was saying that what he did was legitimate, and he wasn't swindling anyone. And yet there was proof in the video that he was saying this is a great website. And then he edited the description of that particular video saying he is affiliated to the website. To
be perfectly fair, when you are caught like that, when you're caught red-handed like that, you can basically do two things. You can either own up to it and say, yes, I was a shit, sorry, won't happen again.
Or you can say that you were not the owner time value where, because there's records on the internet, public records that say otherwise.
Yeah, we just have to use the Wayback Machine to prove that was edited. The description.
Yes, Astra,
things
but
like that.
I was talking about the company records.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say that you either just apologize or you double down and just flat out say no.
But
No,
were people not also
true.
gambling on the streams he was showing about what he would win and whatnot? Because that would be really transparently fixed rigs.
Oh, it was fixed. He must have done something to the website for it to be fixed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the thing is like it kind of like spread around, but the thing is like as the owner of the website actually like he has actually like the registered. He's the one who actually filed the company. Like he's the owner of the company, and a friend of his who's also a streamer is like the co-owner or VP, and basically as owner of the website and of the server, he has also access to the back end, so basically he can manipulate the odds.
Of course, he just has to change the odds on the server for his account, just for his account, even on an admin panel, just to debug or to test it. That's what they have to do.
Exactly.
Yes. I understand how they rig it. What I was asking is were they rigging it?
But there's also another thing.
No doubt they were, just for the
videos. Like basically, if it's like usually if you have something like some kind of some prize to win or something or anything, like usually like the owner of like the institution where you can gamble is not gambling in there. It's like usually it's there like terms like owners and close family and friends are not allowed to gamble there.
No.
Because it's like very unheard of in.
It's even with shitty promotional things like this is a contest, enter now and you may win, I don't know, shitty iPod with 2 gigs of storage, and then in term services like but if you work for this company you can just fuck off.
Employees and families are not allowed to enter. Things like that.
Well, that's mostly because most of those shows or most of those phone-in competitions don't actually produce any kind of prize at any point ever. And if people inside the company would gamble on them, and they might realize it. I know this from working in that industry for a short time.
I actually did win a thing once.
Oh no!
Yes, but the worst part about it is that it was actually my mother who won.
You are your mother?
Yeah, maybe I am. Maybe all this time I'm actually my mother. But basically what she did, I don't know why, but there was like this contest, this coloring contest, and for some reason my mother decided to color this thing for me, and I won the prize.
Good job.
It was the most unhonorable victory ever, and to this day I'm not fully sure why my mother even bothered to do it.
Like,
I wanted to win.
So your mummy is an artist then, and good at coloring?
Apparently. Well, with pencils it is, because...
I did something similar to that when I was at a holiday camp. I entered a colouring competition because they had a circus act going on that particular week. So the theme was to draw something circus. But I thought, bettered my chances, thrashed the little kids. I'll put myself in the age group lower than I was.
Oh no!
Right.
I drew something and I won the certificate and the little prize, but it was for like age 6 to 11.
And they did not try to verify your real age.
5 to 8 or something. I must have been 9, 10 at the time.
You
and
little
they didn't
cheater.
they didn't even bother to check on your age.
You are the best child teacher, Astra.
You should do it again.
Follow in Astra's footsteps and cheat on all their competitions. Except, you'll get 30-year-olds entering 9 to 10-year-old competitions and realizing they can't even draw as good as a 10-year-old.
It almost makes me want to enter contests, obviously designed for like 12-year-olds or 10-year-olds with my current skill set. And see
Then
what
it's
hap-
super render a robot house
Yeah.
or something.
I'd love to see you do that and lose.
That would
Because
probably
not enough
cause it-
imagination.
because they would probably realize, yeah, this isn't a kid. This is some professional that entered for some weird reason.
No. I've seen some 10-year-old savants out there who could draw circles around everyone. Kind of crazy.
Well, there are
Do
some
you-
crazy, talented. Well, I wouldn't say 10-year-olds, but there are teenagers that are crazy good at art.
Hmm.
But that's rule number one of art. There's always someone better than you.
And they're usually half your age.
Yep, that too. So, yeah, you should never let that get to you, because then you're just not getting anywhere. It doesn't matter what your skill level is and how good you think at art, there's always someone better than you, and half your age. So in other words, if you're a really good artist and you're a baby, you're like 5 months old, you can draw amazing good, then there's gonna be another baby that's better than you. I
And they're only
guarantee
2 months old and they're drawing with their own poop.
it. Exactly. But it's like you look at what they create and you just spontaneously get teary-eyed. You're like,
It's like, oh god, I have to clean this up.
Yeah,
but I don't want to. It's so beautiful.
it's so smelly, and you know what? I have the perfect solution. I just
Okay.
declare it art, and then I won't have to clean it up.
Yeah, just build a modern art museum
no,
around your house.
Xaverius. You made a fatal mistake with this. You need to declare it modern art.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Are you
so-
implying there's art that's not modern?
so yeah. So imagine you have the job as a handyman, and then you have to clean, but then you're like just staring.
You have to
at,
clean
at-
babies.
Yeah, and you're just staring at the mess that has been created, and then your boss like, "Hey, why aren't you cleaning that mess?" And you're like, "But boss, just look at it."
It's a
And
baby.
he's like, "What are you doing? Shh, look at it, and smell it. It's beautiful. This is a work of art, and the smell only enhances it. It's part of the experience." And then your boss is like, "Oh my god, I see it now. Yeah, you're right. We shouldn't
Basically,
get rid
modern
of this."
art in a nutshell.
And
Yeah,
then
but
they get
that,
someone to take it away, to bring it to a museum, and you're like, "Yeah, they're doing my job. I didn't have to do anything except lie."
Yeah, but that's the thing about modern art. It's basically like being able to sell it, being able to tell it like, only intelligent people can actually understand this art, and
Only
you
honest people
mean-
can see this art.
You mean, quote, understand this art.
exactly you
they're-
quote
The
understand,
emperor
yeah.
is naked. The emperor is naked.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
The
Exactly,
emperor
but-
is actually wearing modern art. Shut up.
Yeah, no, but that's exactly like the analogy that I was thinking about, because basically he's kind of telling them that kind of like only like very intelligent and well-educated people, exactly, sophisticated people can understand it. And that's why there are sometimes like over such stuff, there are sometimes extreme bid wars, because they want to show I'm the most sophisticated person in this room.
I
So they, like,
appreciate this piece
millions-
of jagged metal.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then an asshole like me comes along and says, "You're all fucking idiots."
Yeah, but they don't care.
No, that's a problem. They don't care.
They should.
They're more buying these works of art to show that they've got more power in the community than other
Yep.
people. And to them, power is money.
Well, power is money, but yeah.
Yeah, also
They're-
to show, yeah, I'm the most sophisticated in here, or at least they will think I'm the most sophisticated, because the art touched me so deeply that I had to buy it, and so on.
Then I look at them and I say, wouldn't you actually rather buy something that looked nice, or looked like art, or actually evoked any emotion at all that was greater than looking at a pile of trash on the side of the road?
Well, I have to disagree here. It does cause emotion, mostly disgust. and despair.
That's not an emotion. That's an emotional state.
So yeah, that's why I want to have nothing to do with modern art. I mean,
wonder if we
even this drawing, which is more like a plain drawing of my original character, do not steal.
Yes, Artrix. But you know what's modern, and I want to have everything to do with it?
What?
Modern video cards.
What about modern video cards?
Well, apparently, there's been an update for this, Doom game,
Mm-hmm.
Oh no.
and they decided they are going to stop using OpenGL for a while, and they are going to add a Vulkan mode. If you don't know what Vulkan is, it's a thing that's built upon AMD's failed API. Well, turns out that when an AMD video card uses technology that's built for AMD and not for NVIDIA, it actually works.
Nonsense, Zav. AMD video cards haven't worked in decades.
Well, that's because they were not using AMD technology. They were using NVIDIA's technology. I have a look at the benchmarks. There was like, I don't know, it was 1070, I think, was running at like 70 FPS.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had the RX 480, and it had 100 FPS.
RX 480 isn't supposed to compete with a 1070. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, apparently when it uses the things that it should use, it can do that.
Oh.
Well, that's the thing that happens.
So
Yeah.
are you saying this cheap graphics card, which is supposed to compete with last year's mid-range, is competing with this year's mid-range if it runs on a on this
If it-
Vulkan?
Yes, if it runs on a platform that actually uses all the parts in the graphics card.
How bizarre.
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe I should try this Vulkan. But what then? In that case, what would happen if you ran this Vulkan on a good graphics?
And by good, you mean NVIDIA.
Of course.
Actually, nothing happens.
Oh.
It
How
stays
bizarre.
roughly the FPS stays roughly the same. There's a very, very measly increase of like 3 FPS.
3 of them.
Yes,
I
3.
need those 3 FPS.
That's like 10%.
Well, it depends. If you're playing your Vidya in cinematic mode, then yes.
yes.
Well, War Thunder is a video I played recently, and it literally has a button for movie mode. Next to the button it says, "Don't play your game in this mode. This isn't made for playing the game. This is just made for making the game look pretty in replays."
So
They're honest.
you play it in the mode, I presume.
Of course. Why would I play it in any other mode?
So what does it do?
It makes it look pretty.
So it just increases FPS by 20.
No, it doesn't.
It's basically like the scenario described where you go to.
Oh, sorry.
by
I
300.
meant to say decreases FPS by
Yes, it makes the game play at exactly 24.5 FPS.
20.
It's like
Truth.
that scenario described where you go to the store to buy €300 pair of pants, except you're not paying £300 or euros or any
Yes.
other currency.
Hmm.
Well, unless you're talking about Malaysian ringgits, then I
You
suppose-
pay in FPSs.
Yep.
It makes the rust on your tank look delicious.
Oh my.
Mhm. You just sit there in the entire game, just staring at and enjoying the modern artistic spectacle of a rusty exhaust pipe, because it fills you with
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. No.
emotions.
Oh. For a moment I thought you were going to go for that dank meme.
I don't know. I don't know
No.
what dank meme you're talking about.
Me neither.
Let's just say
Alex,
refers to a
is
save
this some
point.
kind of dank meme from the 90s?
No, it's dank
No.
meme from the 2015s.
A certain game that people on this thread probably don't like. At least some people on this
Well,
thread.
I don't like
mind-
most of the games that people here like.
I don't mind this particular game.
I think it's a
mean-
fine game myself.
Are you talking about Undertale?
Yes.
Yep.
But why would anyone dislike it? It's just a game.
It's just a game.
Why would anybody have an opinion about it?
I played the demo. It was alright.
Look, it's just another RPG where you walk through it and murder everyone you come across.
It's also a bullet hell. I don't like bullet hells.
It's a weird merger of bullet hell RPG murder simulator. There's absolutely nothing strange about it, or any different from any other RPG ever made.
Well, I don't like the bullet hells, so that's pretty strange. Bullet hells, overrated.
I haven't really given it much time. It's kind of old schooly. The graphics make my eyes bleed.
You mean Undertale?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't play for the graphics. I mean,
It's just like playing an old Nintendo game.
He doesn't play it for the
no,
graphics, boy. You hear him.
It is not even like it's like playing with Super Nintendo graphics, except that they put in some motion tweening and shit, so it doesn't really look like Nintendo graphics.
Well, it's not even Nintendo graphics. It's
Exactly.
like standard Famicom first edition. It most looks like Final Fantasy 1 to me,
That can be a good thing.
with even less colors. which is saying something when that was a 16-color game.
Oh yeah, according to some artists, black and white are not colors.
Oh, so it's got 0 colors, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I think those people are idiots.
Yes, they are.
Also, this episode is getting pretty meta because I'm drawing the cover art for the
Then end
draw
it.
the cover. Yeah.
Just cut it.
It's just game over, man. It's just game over.
Go home, gamer girl. Oh wait, you're not a girl.
Astra already is home.
Atheists.
Astra, go home, game. Oh, that doesn't work either.
She's
Wow.
not
I
at
am
home.
home. You male Shinobi's pig.
She doesn't. Astra's not even a real girl gamer. All she plays is Mario Kart and Splatoon or something.
Fuck
In
you.
other words, real games.
She plays more than just those. She plays a lot of Pokemons and the.
Did you just
Maple
call
Town.
Splatoon a real game? It's a multiplayer. Come on, it's not a real game.
Next, you're going to tell me that
Yes.
Astra plays. Next, you're going to say she plays Harvest Moon and Animal Crossing.
I actually had my hand on my.
Sekele, next time you're
Animal
gonna
Crossing.
say that Overwatch is a real game.
No, that's just funny.
Unlike Overwatch, Splatoon does have a campaign.
Yep, that's true. It does have a campaign. It's
Oh,
not
that's
the
better than nothing.
greatest. Yep, but it for the price point of that game, you get a fair amount of content.
Look at
I
it.
think they just recently stopped
Which means
releasing
you-
new content for it.
well, if it has a campaign, it means you get some content, not
And that
just assets that are randomly plastered over the map and
I
do
think
some
actually-
shit on them.
Their last Splatfest is supposed to be this month, or they've just
Wait.
had it or something.
They're already retiring that game.
Yeah.
No, the game
By already you mean it's been going for 2 years?
It was
Yeah.
too popular.
will still run, but they aren't going to make any new events.
Look, I compare all games now to TF2's success.
Well, good luck with that.
He meant all multiplayer, not real game.
Yes, if your game is multiplayer only, you need to be committed to updating it for a long time, and 2 years is not that. A single player game can get away with only being patched once or twice. A multiplayer game, it should live a long time.
Well,
It should at least live as long as the console lives.
They
Well,
did add.
to be fair, actually, Splatoon has like a single player mode, and secondly, I think Splatoon even outlived the console.
Well, that was a very short-lived console.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're probably gonna port it to the NX.
most
I'm
likely.
pretty-
It's like rumors are saying they're gonna port like this to the NX.
They're
Maybe
either
even
gonna
Smash
port
Bros.
it. They're either gonna port it or they're just gonna straight up make Splatoon 2, and you just know that they're gonna milk this.
Wait.
thing.
Yeah.
Splatoon 2? You mean Splatoon?
Of course, they're gonna call it Splatoon. Because
If they are not going to call it Splatoon, they missed the best opportunity.
The worst thing
They
is
have
that
to.
Counter-Strike 1.6 was patched since in the last decade. I mean, well, that's obviously not 1.6 anymore. Everyone still calls it that. Oh,
Yay.
Anyways, what do you guys think? Should we call it a day, or is there any other topic
night
that we
out.
should?
It's a day.
I want to say something.
Oh.
You cannot call night a
Okay,
day.
Xaverius, do the announcement thing.
It's the Astra time with Astra.
There we go.
The
So-
chat, it's over! Yay!
Wait, seriously, that's all you wanted to say?
I am sorry I changed
That was a very short Astra time.
Yeah,
with
that sure
Astra.
was.
Tune in next time for more time with Astra.
She will say an entire 6 sentences, maybe.
Same bat place, same bat channel.
Sorry for being late.
Oh god. Fantastic.
Well, I meant to say that the dream's over, not the Astra time's over.
It's over.
It's all over.
But yeah, keep the thing going while I look up this program that always crashes.
It's still happening.
Yay!
You could have stopped this.
It's loading, but it's taking its sweet time.
It's
But
gonna crash again as well,
No.
so it is. It's going to.
It's here. Going fade in. It's fading in now. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The outro music's playing now.
Is
It's
it
gonna
ending?
crash.
Is it over? Is it starting?
It's over.
Yes, you've been listening to yet another episode of Radio Rothingham, the least professional podcast on the entire planet.
Awesome.
I up the stakes. It's no longer the most unprofessional podcast on the internet. It's on the entire planet, the entire galaxy, including Mars.
The
So-
entire multiverse.
The entire
No.
multiverse
Mars
plus
is,
one.
Mars is not a part of my galaxy.
Okay. Well, this is part of mine. I don't know. So, yeah, thank you for listening to this episode of Radio Rothingham. Don't forget to subscribe and like and all that other crap that, you've been exposed to for, what is it, 10 years? YouTube's been around for about 10 years, right?
I don't know.
Okay, I wonder, what was the first time someone uttered that sentence? Like, when was the first time someone begged for subs and likes on YouTube?
Hey, money.
No, that only happened when Patreon came around. That really kicked off the whole e-begging thing.
Don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon that we don't have.
Yeah, go to patreon.com/givemoneytotheartrix.com and give us all the money. Well, mostly me.
Or even better, you can go onto this site that I just found. It's called RadioRothinghamLotto.com.
Yep. Go to that site.
The name is completely coincidental.
I'm going to play it right now. So
Gamble
here's
for CS:GO
Yeah, we are
skins.
going in totally blind.
yeah. This site looks completely like Photoshop. So yeah, we made it to look really authentic. And
What do you
as
mean
you
we
play,
made it?
you'll see that I'm
It's a
drawing
completely random site.
board with like sections on it. There we go. This is what you'll see when you go to the website, and this
I'm
is
sure
arrow.
we will.
And
I mean,
there
this
it
is what we
says,
see right now
You
in real
win.
time because we have never seen this page before.
Yep. Gamble on a roulette wheel of Artrixes.
That's
You
not Alex,
win.
because we never saw this before.
You win 2 credits, which you can only spend in Rothingham. So yeah, and just 2 credits, like 2 cents or something.
Well, it's easy getting into Rothingham. The hard part is to leave.
God, it's still happening.
Yep.
Why isn't it over?
There's multiple errors, by the way, that also point to you win, so you feel even more like a winner.
Mm-hmm. But actually, I'm not a winner.
Win.
Yes.
There we go. So yeah, so go to Gamble Radio
The
Rothingham
true winner
shit.
gets
and-
to leave Rothingham.
Yeah, that's the grand prize. The true winner gets to leave the city for good. It keeps going.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're getting to that awkward part of the podcast where we're just waiting for it to end. Maybe
Just
sometime.
kicking the dead horse.
Hit the stop button already. God damn it. It's over.
Give it a mercy kill.
But I'm not sure if
Good
I have the
yes.
I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
Kill us all!
So,
Do it.
I can
Just do
I beg
it.
you
I
for
can
that.
fade out the music.
Finish him!
Okay. Old Yeller, I'm gonna do it.
You missed it!
Yeah, I missed it. I misclicked. So sorry, you guys. We have to do it all over. The entire
Damn it.
podcast. No. Okay. I'm gonna try again.